Here it is, the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. I go from one recording to the next as I just finished recording the college football and NFL shows with Mark. That's why you'll see me wearing the same damn hoodie. But yeah, some long days. I mean, 4 hours of radio to come home and do an hour and then do this podcast. This one will be a little bit shorter. I got 3 games to talk about, and I'll get into some of the other stuff. Let's start with this. Let's talk about the inner circle like we always do. Well, first off, please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And if you hit the notification button, you'll know anytime one of these gets posted. Been trying to come back and look at some comments and chime in, but honestly, the schedule's kind of crazy because once I put that out, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Now I'm working on the next day's podcast. But I do appreciate some of the comments we've gotten, the good, the bad, even the ugly. So yeah, the other thing I want to bring up is my concrete inner circle. You guys have heard me talking about it. I missed my top play last night when I thought I thought I was winning it. I had Kent State plus 2.5. And so I've had back-to-back nights with college football with the underdog winning outright with 2 minutes or less left to go and then giving up a touchdown. I did have the under in the Toledo game, which it was 42.5. Toledo scored 42 and Northern Illinois scored 3. That game started off with a kickoff return for a touchdown too. You go back and look at those things. You're like, man, what a bitch. What a bitch. Yeah, so they were tough losses. And in talking about with the inner circle, having Kent State up at the top this week, I feel like I've hit all of my top plays except for that one, and I feel like we should have won that one. I shouldn't say that. You know, it's one of those games that could have gone either way. It's a 50-50 game. It just sucks losing in the last 2 minutes on back-to-back nights when you have the lead. But that's football. That's gambling. But I like to place big bets, and that's where we get into with the inner circle. You get to see how highly rated I have games. And it's been, like I said, we've been cooking. We've been stacking units, winning a couple units here, 10 there, 14 here. There's 3. There's 1. Okay, we lost 2. And, you're bouncing back, but so far so good. I think things have been great. So hopefully you guys will text inner circle that number and check it out. All right, let's move on to some of the other things I had. I'm just going to be brutally honest. Like, I had a ton of success in the NBA and college basketball. Right now, I'm kind of 500 in basketball and college hoops. I may be a little bit better than that because I did won a couple games the other day, but just the totals have been off. The overs, I guess. I hit one of my top overplay with South Dakota, and then I missed out on the Butler game where it was 155.5 and it went under. The NBA, I got these great pace-up spots, and I keep going back to it and look at the pace of the game. They're just not making the shots, and then they're not making free throws, and we have these weird lulls in games. The Bulls are the perfect example of a team that does this, where they'll get really hot. Remember they had those games against Charlotte last year where they set records for the most missed threes. I think they missed 75 threes in a game or took 70, whatever it was. They did it in 2 different games against the Hornets, where I think they broke the record and then re-broke it or something. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I had Utah and Detroit over, and of course, nothing. Not shooting well, not getting it done. I did have the Sacramento Kings as a top play last night too. I hit that, but again, it's not all been bad. I'm just disappointed how my NBA season started off because nobody wants to go look at losing games or losing record and going, man, I know I'm so much better than this, but maybe it's just letting these teams play out and how things are going. We've had some incredibly high-scoring games, and it's been ridiculous. I still don't think they've fully adjusted the lines for how fast some of these games are going to be coming up when teams really stop playing defense. We've already had the load management BS too, which is it's just irritating in the NBA. I'm a huge NBA fan. I'm a huge basketball guy. Basketball is in my blood. I hate watching this nonsense of guys not playing. It's stupid. If he's not healthy enough to play back-to-back, then don't let him play. Wait until he's healthy. And this stuff they do with Embiid, it's like, you're going to cut his salary in half because he plays half the games? It's dumb. And, oh, no, we got to keep him fresh for the playoffs. Guess what? You're doing it, and he's never fresh for the playoffs. And by the way, Jokic should have won 4 straight MVPs. So you guys can fight amongst yourself about that because I'm a Luka fan, and I'm sitting here telling you, Jokic is the best player in the league. He should have won 4 straight MVPs. Embiid had no business winning that. Oh, we want to give it to someone else, and we got Jokic fatigue. And, oh, Embiid, he scores more points than him. Yeah, how's everything else going? Not the same? How about every time that Jokic is ready to play Embiid, for whatever reason, Embiid won't play him? Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, load management. And even if it was true, I don't care. It's just BS. And then, look, I love Shea. SGA is great. He's a free throw merchant. Nothing wrong with that. James Harden was a free throw merchant. Shea gets most of his points from the free throw line. And I'm sorry, like, I get it. He's on the best team in the league or the team that won the championship and they're loaded. But come on, not for me. Anyway, I know I'm rambling talking about other stuff, but I like to fill this time with something. You guys can call me an idiot. You can tell me you agree with me. We can go wherever. So, all right, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. I have all my stuff written down and which way I'm going. You guys can see, you can't read it, but all these prop bets and stuff that I'm going through. Then I start to look at games and scratch them off. I did take a look at the NFL. If you guys watch the Top Dogs NFL show, I go over 3 totals that I absolutely love in the NFL. I'll end up giving out one on Sunday, but I just think there's 3 cherry spots that are great for daily fantasy. So I'm going to have those games stacked up in some capacity and then crossing over. There's a lot of props I like in those games where we're going to be betting some overs. I'll go over that. If you guys missed it on Sundays, I kind of talk about some of my favorite prop plays and going through the games for Sunday's podcast. On Mondays and Thursdays podcast, I go over the prop bets that I like, and then I come back in the morning once it's posted and then post everything out. So you don't have to sit here and try to write everything down. Did he say 23 or 20? You know, you don't have to do that. It'll all be posted in the comment section. So, I put in all this work. I do it like I have certain people that like certain things. And because I do so much daily fantasy work, I'm always on the props. I would like to do more in basketball, but there's, I don't feel like I have a great algorithm for player props for basketball. For baseball and football, I think I have one of the best ones. So, anyway, let's get to these games. We'll talk about that real quick. What I liked on Thursday night, just to run through it, I was on the NFL game to go under the total. I like Sutton under receptions, Trey Tucker over receptions, J.K. Dobbins over rushing yards. I like Geno Smith under 3.5 rushing attempts. And as soon as I posted it, I started looking around and it dropped to 2.5 and it was juiced to the over. I like 3.5. It's minus 160 if you can get it on his rush attempts. If not, I do like him to go over his passing yards, which is like 208.5, 209 in some places. So do with that what you will. Well, you guys won't see that. What the hell am I talking about? You won't even see it, but this is what I was on. Georgia Southern App State, we talked about that game going over the total. Ended up liking North Dakota and college hoops and the Northern Iowa over. NBA, I was on the Clippers under, and then in hockey, I like the Dallas over and the Nashville under. And I think that was everything for Thursday night. But here, let's get into the games for Friday. And we got 3 college football games. I am going to give you a freemium. This will be a play for me tomorrow. And the more and more I look at these games, like I said, this is going to be brief as I'm going to run through this because I have even more appointments to get to after this. This is just a crazy day. And then I got a concert with my wife tonight. It's not one that I'd necessarily pick, but I got invited to see the Goo Goo Dolls. Asked my wife if she wanted to go, and it's in this like very intimate setting where there'll be a couple hundred people and they're playing for them. They're serving you food and stuff. So yeah, I'm in for that. Yeah, go ahead. Play the 2 hits. Play Iris and Slide, the ones that everybody wants to hear. I don't know what else they're going to play, but I'm going to be there watching that tonight and kind of peeking at my phone of what the scores are. So let's jump into these college football games. We start off with Tulane at Memphis. Memphis right now a 4-point favorite, 54.5 is the total. I'm just going to tell you here, I think it's too many points. I like both of these teams. I think they're both good, but I like the fact that I'm catching over a field goal with Tulane. I think it's too many points. And you know how much I love these weeknight island games, as I call them, for the home team. I think it's such a great advantage. But seeing the line where it's at, it's pushing me to take Tulane. So my lean in this game is going to be to that green wave. Give me Tulane. All right, next game is Northwestern at USC. USC is minus 14. Total's 50.5. I'm sorry. Northwestern sucks. USC has been disappointing when they've been outside of their home stadium. Being back at home against an inferior opponent, I think Lemon has a big game. Oh, God, what's the running back there? It's here. I got it written down right here. I keep forgetting his name. King Miller. I think he has a big game. I like him over rushing yards. Just something to think about. But with that spot there at USC and Northwestern, again, you're looking at the total being 50.5, and we've talked about this. I know it's 2 touchdowns. I know at times USC's defense is kind of let down. I don't think they do that at home. I think USC runs away with this one. Give me the Trojans minus the 14. Now, lastly, for my freemium, and I really do like this play a lot, and I'm assuming people are going to be against me because how Houston's look. Houston is minus 1.5 at Central Florida. I do not like messing with Central Florida on these weeknight games when they're at home. They come out like gangbusters all the time. I love them in this spot to not only cover 1.5, but to win outright. My freemium is going to be on Central Florida to cover and win this game. So if you wanted to sprinkle, again, sprinkling on the money line doesn't change much. It's going to be, what are you going to be, plus 110 instead of plus 115. So yeah, I think this is a spot where UCF pulls off. I don't even think it's an upset, but from the point spread, you have to consider it that pulls off the upset and wins this game. So, all right, guys, check out the premium plays over there. I've started putting up my NFL and college football plays. That's the other thing I was doing all day today, just breaking down all these college games. I think the college slate is really difficult this week. I don't think there's a lot of things that really stand out. There was one game that just jumped off the charts at me as soon as I opened up, the sports book looking, okay. Now they're telling you why these two teams, which one's really better than the other one. And then on top of it, the NFL, I love a ton this week. And those 3 totals, what else did I have? How many NFL games did I like? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 8 games written down, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to go to other ones. And I really do. I like all these totals and all these sides. So we'll talk more about it when we get to it in the NFL. But definitely check out the premium plays over at pickdawgz.com. As I said, I usually put up a couple triple plays. Got to go at least 2-1. Try to go 3-0 in them. Kind of a weird week this week is I've had, when I put up 2 triple plays, I think everybody's bought the one that hasn't hit. So, and I did, talk about Thursday Night Football as I always do. Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and any big games on Sundays or Saturdays, I throw in free prop plays if there is one that goes in that game. I'm not going to give out a play in the Raiders game. They're playing, Raiders Broncos, and all of a sudden write something for Sunday. The same way I wouldn't on, if I gave out the Jags game on Sunday and I didn't have any prop plays in there, I'm not all of a sudden going to tell you to take Justin Jefferson over receiving yards, although I think that is a good play this weekend. But yeah, you guys get the gist. And I've been killing it in the props. I mean, I always have a hard time patting myself on the back, but really, baseball playoffs, NFL, and college, even though I can't bet college here in Maryland, I have destroyed these props. And I know the people that have bought them, even when I've lost the game. I lost one game, went 4-0 in props. Lost the other game, went 3-1. I win the side, go 3-1 in props, and then everybody's happy. I even had the 5-0 night where I gave out 5 free props to go along with my favorite play. My favorite play missed because that was the Ravens over, but we hit all 5 of those props and couldn't have been more on point. So appreciate you guys watching this. I'll be back with another podcast. Hope you guys win some cash. And any comments, I'll try to come back and read them and answer them as best as I can. But appreciate it, guys. Hope you win some cash.